Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to Game Watch. We'll of course be looking at 10 games releasing in October that I suggest you keep your eyes on. So, grab a beer, adjust your gaming chair and relax. Should you run from a disturbed psycho or attempt to hide? How about helping an injured friend, or maybe you should just leave them and save yourself? These are some of the scenarios you'll be pondering in Until Dawn. Until Dawn is a survivor horror game that places a large emphasis on player choices. You'll take control of 8 friends who have reunited a year after 2 of their peers went missing, but this is all taking place in a dark and snow-ridden isolated mountain lodge. Something wants these group of friends dead, and it'll be your decisions that keep them alive or ultimately sees them killed. Until Dawn is a remake of the original fan favourite that released back in 2015 on the PS4. But what differentiates this remake and why should you buy it? Well, it's been rebuilt using Unreal Engine 5, so you can expect better lighting, ray tracing, as well as improved graphical fidelity as a whole, as well as 4K support. The cinematography has been revised, the narrative elements reworked, as well as the fixed person camera being removed in favour of a third person camera. Until Dawn releases on the 4th of October on the PS5 and PC for $60 or £60. October clearly is the month for survival horror remakes, as Silent Hill 2 is on the horizon. James Sunderland receives a letter from his wife, but this is highly unusual considering his wife passed away 3 years prior. They both had fond memories of spending time with each other in Silent Hill, so this is where James ventures to search for traces of his wife. Silent Hill is engulfed in a thick fog and occupied by supernatural monsters. You'll be engaging in combat, solving puzzles, and of course searching for traces of your wife. You can expect updated graphics as well as ray tracing being powered by Unreal Engine 5. The game map has been made larger with new buildings being added. The combat has been updated and now features an over-the-shoulder perspective, and PS5 players can take advantage of 3D audio. Silent Hill 2 releases on the 8th of October on the PS5 and Steam for $70 or £60. You'll be able to choose from the standard edition or the deluxe. The deluxe includes a digital art book, soundtrack, some masks, as well as 48-hour early access. I don't recall many single-player games having early access, but if you want it sooner, then you have the option. As a lifelong Dragon Ball fan, whenever I see that a new game is releasing, I think to myself, another one? I grew up playing the Budokai series. In fact, I still have all of them in my loft. So when I heard that a 4th installment was being released, that got my attention. I introduce you all to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The game is a 3D fighter that features over 180 playable characters. The featured characters have appeared in Z, Super, GT, as well as the movies. They'll of course be utilising all of their techniques and transformation that you've seen in the show. One of my favourite characters is Gotenks, so you can bet I know my way around the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. The game's story will let you relive some of the classic battles throughout the series, but they can leave out the Garlic Jr. saga. Online battles will be a thing, and I just know some of you Chads will be playing as Hercule or the goat known as Krillin. Sparking Zero releases on the 11th on the PS5, Xbox Series and Steam. There are 4 editions of the game, with the more expensive versions providing early access and some physical goodies. These are the rules. Everybody fights and nobody quits. If you don't do your job, I'll kill you myself. If you haven't heard that before, then you're probably too young to remember Starship Troopers. This was a movie released in the 1990s that I had on VHS as a kid, and boy was it a classic. Starship Troopers Extermination is a 16-player co-op FPS that will see you teaming up with players around the world to tackle the bug outbreak. You'll have access to 6 different classes, a variety of weapons and equipment, as well as a perk system. You'll have to fend off the bugs until you're rescued by the fleet. In the meantime, resources will need to be extracted from the planet in order to build bases, ammo stations, as well as defensive structures. There's a variety of different bug types, and there can be hundreds on your screen at any given time. Extermination is currently in early access on Steam and has been received extremely well. The game fully releases on the 11th of the 10th on the PS5, Xbox Series and PC. There will be a physical release, and you can expect to pay $50 or £40, with pre-orders netting you some in-game cosmetics. In 2016, Katsura Hoshino, the game director behind Shin Megami Tensei 3, Persona 3 and 4, wanted to work on a new project that wasn't in the Persona universe. After 8 years of development, that project has arrived in Metaphor Refantazio. At least, that's how I think you pronounce it. Metaphor is an RPG that is set within a fantasy world. A curse has been placed upon the kingdom, and it's down to you and your companion Gallica to lift it. You'll be exploring dungeons and carrying out quests during the day, and building relationships and strengthening bonds at night. The anime-style cutscenes in the Persona series will also be present in Metaphor, as well as the turn-based combat, with some real-time action sprinkled in. Many of the staff that worked on Persona, including character artist Shigenori Sejima and music composer Shoji Meguro, have all contributed to Metaphor. Despite Hoshino wanting to work on projects that aren't Persona, I can't help but feel this game is very Persona-y. Yes, I know it's not a word, but you know what I mean. Metaphor also releases on the 11th of October on the PS4 and 5, PC and Xbox Series consoles. You can can pick up a physical release and the game will set you back $70 or £50. Everyone's favourite plumber is back in action, being joined by other iconic characters in Super Mario Party Jamboree. As the title suggests, Jamboree is a party game with several game modes that you can play on your own, with 4 players locally, or taking the fun online. Jamboree will feature 7 game boards, with 5 of these being new and 2 returning from previous games, as well as 22 playable characters, with Ninja and Pauline being new additions. Jamboree also has the most mini-games of any Mario Party released, including 110 of them. You can visit Minigame Bay to enjoy them, which includes free play, daily challenges, and an online survival mode. There is an emphasis on partying online with some of Bowser's challenges, which include the Koopathlon, a 20-player online competition that will see who can get the highest score in a series of minigames, as well as Bowser's Kaboom Squad, which will see you team up with 7 other players in order to defeat the imposter Bowser. Jamboree releases on the 17th, exclusive to the Switch. Obviously, you can pick the game up for $60 or £43 if ordering through Amazon. Would you enjoy a pizza in the sewers? Was that a no? Yeah, me neither. But these guys would. The Ninja Turtles are back in Mutants Unleashed, which is a 3D beat 'em up. The Turtles have been taking it easy in New York City when they come across shipments of ooze. The only problem is this is mutagenic ooze that has been spread across the city, causing some areas to be contaminated. The bigger issue here is that mutants are spawning from the ooze, and it's down to the 4 brothers to save the city. Enemies will further mutate throughout the game, and you'll be able to unlock new moves and abilities to aid you in combat. There are 5 locations that you'll be battling through, and if you do have any friends, 2-player couch co-op is available. Mutants Unleashed releases on the 18th on all Xbox One and Series, PS4 and 5, Switch and the PC. I've got another remake for you in Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. This is a JRPG based on the original title that released back in 1993. The story focuses on 7 heroes that were once regarded as saviours of the world. As time has passed, people have forgotten about their 7 triumphs, which has deeply angered them. They're now set on taking revenge on the world. It will of course be down to you and your companions to take down each of the 7. Turn-based combat returns, as well as a new addition in the form of a united attack, in which party members join forces to attack simultaneously. There are 30 different types of combat classes to choose from, all of who have their preferred weapon types, tactics, as well as abilities. Romancing Saga 2 claims the story will be non-linear, with you being able to dictate how the story unfolds. Revenge of the Seven releases on the 24th of the 10th on the PS4 and 5, Switch and Steam. Physical copies can be picked up for $50 or £45. Now there is a demo available, so if you did want to give it a try, it's there for you. Everyone in the world loves a bit of skill-based matchmaking, and you'll be getting plenty more in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. All jokes aside, as much stick as COD gets, it's still the best-selling FPS franchise on the market. This rendition has been developed by Treyarch and Raven. The game's story narrative will be based in the early 90s and depict the end of the Cold War and the rise of the United States as a single superpower. That is for those that still enjoy the campaigns. I personally skip the campaigns and jump straight into multiplayer, and I have a hunch that lots of others do the same thing. Multiplayer will feature 16 new maps at launch, with 12 of these being core maps and 4 of them being strike-based, aka smaller map designs. From what I've read, all of the maps are small to medium-sized anyways, so Treyarch are clearly trying to push engagement. Round-based Zombies also makes its return, with 2 maps being available at launch. I still remember the original Zombies on World at War, and boy were those the days. Black Ops 6 releases on all platforms on the 25th of the 10th, and those Xbox gamers can play it day 1 on Game Pass. Shadow the Hedgehog is back to feature as the protagonist in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now this release is actually a bundle comprised of 2 games. The first is Shadow Generations, which is a platformer that will see you alternating between 3D and side-scrolling gameplay. The second is a remaster of Sonic Generations, which features updated visuals as well as cutscenes. Shadow's rival Black Doom is threatening to take over the world, so he'll need to travel back to the past in order to put a stop to his evil plans. You'll be utilising Shadow's Doom powers to battle enemies, like attacking them with spears, launching enemies back, as well as surfing on water. The game's levels will be familiar due to them being in previous Sonic games, including Sonic Adventure 2, Heroes, as well as Sonic 06. I would make a Sonic 06 joke, but it just seems a bit below the belt nowadays, you know. The game releases on the 25th of the 10th on all platforms. There is a collector's edition that you can pre-order for $250, and it does feature a ton of goodies, including a statue of Sonic and Shadow standing on a Dreamcast. Give it a quick Google search, as it does look pretty cool. Ladies and gents, subs and non-subs, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. You've heard it all a million times. All of my socials can be found in my description. And remember, I'll never be a real YouTuber until I've released an apology video. Or 2. That's all, guys. Peace out.